Well, we're here at the CCA workbench, and it's time for the Fish Bites Trading Post Rigs and Techniques, Dave. And we're going to talk about redfish.
Yeah, first we're going to start off with what we need to fish with them, for them with. Is that right?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about the rods and reels. And these are Penn Authorities. I think you got a 3500 and a 2500, and we're going to go into that as well. But these are the flagship of the Penn spinning reels. Really nice submersible IPX8 waterproofing. You can dunk that thing in the water. Don't have to worry about the drag or the interior getting messed up with salt water. Full metal body with the side plates as well. Stainless steel main gear and stainless steel pinion gear. And they have 12+1 stainless steel ball bearings in them. So they're incredibly smooth. And what I like about them is they have the level line slow oscillation system.
Right.
So that the line lays perfectly on the spool, which goes a long way to eliminate a lot of those wind knots, we call them, is when you throw
exactly.
and big
right.
pluff of braid comes out.
Yep.
Well, that's because the line's not laying correctly, and these Authority reels make that happen. And they're on the Fenwick world-class rods. That's the name of the rod. It's their lightest and most sensitive rod that they've made in 70 years of making rods. They were the very first ones to make graphite rods. These are 40 and 36 ton blended blanks. And with titanium guide frames, so nothing's going to rust on them, nothing's going to break on them. Just really nice rods. And you brought these two specifically for redfish.
Well, these two are mine, and the lighter action I use for sight fishing because it's a lot more finesse casting. Dave, I've won more money off of fishing with a spoon.
The spoon is the king. People don't realize it.
It really is, because it's a great search lure, and you can just cast it out. It's idiot proof, which really works well for me.
Me too.
And then the other rod is just a little heavier rod, so that if you're throwing big lures, or maybe you want to fish bait,
right?
Then you have a little bit more backbone in here, so that bigger fish you can shut down.
Right.
The other thing that comes to mind when I'm looking at all of this, Dave, is that I've matched everything up with this Berkley 9X braid.
Right. The 9X braid is a 8 carrier braid that's wrapped around a single cord. That's why it's got the number 9 associated with it. Very limber, cast it's so smooth and round, cast like a dream. The 5 is a little bit more coarse, better for abrasion and stuff like that. It's called the 5 because it's a 4 carrier around a single core.
Correct.
So those are both really good choices for your braid.
So when it comes to lures, there's a variety of soft plastics. Again, anything with a paddle tail, like this Artemis shad that Bass Assassin makes. I love the shrimpy colored pink. This is butt naked color. Right.
I was about to ask you if there was a certain color combination that you like, or certain days that you want to use.
And we have obviously the P&V. The little pad. This is the pilchard color.
Yeah, that thing is a miracle looking thing right there.
And you can rig this weedless. You can put it with a light jig. You can also throw, scented baits like a fish bite shrimp, to tailing fish.
Yeah, under a cork.
Under
shrimp,
a Bass Assassin cork.
That shrimp, that fish bite shrimp, really worked for me and Jeff Page underneath the cork the other day.
Of course, and then you have
Savage Gear shrimp.
The Savage Gear, which this is something I use for sight fishing. It's rigged weedless, so we can get in there for a tailing fish. The mistake we make when they're tailing is we try to bounce it into his house.
Yeah.
And what we need to do is just slide it, because all of these little legs and antennas, as we're reeling this through there, it's going to have all its life that you need. You don't need to bounce it. And so many times
that'll spook them.
You get pressured fish.
Yeah, shrimp don't attack redfish very often.
No. And then one of my favorite baits now is this Savage Twitch Reaper. And the reason why I like it so much is, does this not look like a real pilchard?
Yes, it does.
And it darts back and forth underneath the water. It's a walk the dog bait that is literally under the water.
Right, and you got that Berkley Chapo. That's a great thing to use on the surface. I like to, redfish with that little mouth underneath. They have a hard time getting that top water. I love watching them try.
And the Chapo's just like the spoon. It's just reel it back. It has its own action. It's vibrating. It's making noise. And the lateral line of a redfish, a snook, a trout, whatever, it's going to feel that.
Right.
You did a great job tonight.
You did,
Dave.
too.
Right?
Oh, thank you.
Dave, I just want to give you a high five from over here at the T-shirt because you held your own.
He
Proud of you,
did.
sir.
He was not
He
going to
did.
let me talk the whole time.
Heck no.